YouTube, welcome back to the channel, man. Hope you guys are doing good today. Today we got another video for you guys. We're gonna be talking about if VQs deserve the hate that they get. It's gonna be a controversial one, man, but hey, we gotta talk about it. So right now we're at the home garage. As y'all can see, there's some project cars y'all haven't seen before. Matter of fact, let's go take a look at those. So this, guys, is my 1990 Honda Civic, and it is a SI. It's got the sunroof. So this was a family car, and this is what got me started and everything. Still working on it, but sneak peek on that. And then over here we got the Impala 9th Gen Impala slammed on the floor, like quite literally. But yeah, we'll get more into those later on, man. All right, that's enough yapping though. Let's go ahead and head to the storage unit. I'll be back with y'all shortly. Don't do that, bro. Don't be that close on my tail, bro. I can't stand Houston drivers, bro. Alright guys, so we successfully made it to the storage unit, and as you can see behind me here, I have my VQ, my 2013 G37. For anybody that hasn't seen it, I'm pretty sure y'all haven't. It's a new channel, but here it is. Let's go ahead and get into talking about it. If you're watching this video, you probably already know this, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about the facts of this engine. This is a VQ37 VHR. It was produced in 2008 all the way up to 2015. 37 stands for 3.7 liter. It's a naturally aspirated 60-degree bank V6. Now, what does VHR stand for? Well, it is a combination of two things. One being this engine's most major improvement over the VQ35 HR, which is VVEL. That's what the V stands for, and VVEL stands for Variable Valve Event Lift, which essentially means it changes the timing. Based off the RPM that you are at, it will make the timing more aggressive. So the higher you get up, the more aggressive it gets, essentially netting you more performance. And the HR part carries over from the VQ35 and essentially just stands for high revving. These engines have a factory red line of 7,500 or 7,600 RPM, which is very high. You can easily take that past 8,000 with a tune. Now, the second major improvement over the VQ35 was this engine's dual throttle bodies. This netted them way more airflow, and essentially it is now equally balanced because since it's a V6, you have one throttle body feeding 3 cylinders and the other throttle body feeding the other 3. So it is very, very balanced in airflow. There is no risk of disruption to a plenum, maybe not getting the same airflow as the other. It is very equally balanced, and it has a lot more throttle response. Now, these engines are very reliable if you maintain them, easily can go to 200,000. They are also very, very plentiful. They come in a lot of cars. Any car that ends in the number 37 has this engine. So G37, FX, EX37, M37, QX50, and QX60, I believe, all have this engine. Now, getting down to the science and engineering of them building this engine is extremely overbuilt. In terms of the block, the internals are okay. They're a step up from the VQ35. Actually, I believe the rod is a millimeter thicker, and pistons are better. Crankshaft is really, really good in this engine. The crankshaft is really well made. But the main thing with this engine is the block. It is an aluminum block, and the main thing that gives it its strength is the girdle for the crankshaft. They have a design where it bolts straight into the bottom of the block, essentially making it a one-piece extension of the block, essentially giving it more rigidity. And it also has 4 bolts, I believe, per main cap. So this engine is extremely, extremely strong. Now that we went over the facts of this engine, let's go ahead and get into why people hate these. The first point that we're gonna go over on why people hate these is probably the most controversial, and that is the exhaust. Now, I'm sure you've seen online of people with straight pipes, no resonators, etc. just absolutely dogging these cars and they sound like crap. Yes, we can agree. They easily sound like Dookie. But if you have the right exhaust setup, they can absolutely sound good. And that's one reason I believe the VQ is so overhated, is that people just take the few bad apples and turn them into the face of what these cars are. And that is simply just not reasonable. One thing I do want to make very clear though is that sound is completely objective. So one thing that you like, the next person may not, and that is okay. That's why there's many different cars for everybody. But to simply look over every good part of the cars that these engines came with just because of a few bad people with exhaust is not good. Now, we all know when you get your first car, you want to do exhaust stuff to it. That is a bad decision with these cars. You need to put time and effort into the exhaust choice that you make. You should not go and muffler delete it. You should not go and resonator delete it. Definitely do not have no resonators, because that is what gives these cars a bad rep, is the rasp. The rasp kills everything, everything. Now, I'm no hero because this car itself has a muffler delete, but I did not do that. That is how I got the car, and I am currently saving up to do a custom exhaust. Do not follow in these footsteps, even though I technically didn't do it. I'm still driving around like that. And although it still has stock cats, resonators, all that, it is literally just a muffler delete. Make sure you keep the resonators with all your might. Please, you want exhaust, save up for a good exhaust. All right, guys, and this is gonna be my example for the exhaust portion of this argument. And it is the fact that out of any engine Nissan produced, this is the closest out of all of them to the VR38 twin turbo engine, which is in the R35 GTR. Now, the thing I do not understand is that these sound very, very similar. They have their differences, but the core sound is very similar. And people go nuts over the R35. Now, I get it is muffled and it sounds better with the turbo noises, but like I said, the core sound is pretty similar. But yeah, when it's one of these, it's no bueno. Let's go ahead and get into the next point, which is going to be takeovers. Whoa! Oh! Now, being that this car was made in 2008, this has a lot of electronics, which means just like newer cars, they are easy to steal. People steal these a lot. They beat on them, thrash on them, spin them, take them to takeovers, crash them, whatever. That adds into the bad rep, and people don't seem to understand that that is a very small percentage of people that actually do that. Now, if you want to turn this into a drift car, by all means, that is completely different, and I had actually advised that. But yeah, when people take them to takeovers and they smash the quarter panels and have no bumpers, and then the exhaust is ripped off straight pipe, of course that's going to get a bad rep. But using examples again, Charger Challengers, that was pretty much the prime example of what would cause takeovers, and yet people still love those because it's a Hellcat and it goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't know. People have their opinions, man. People have their bias. But I do truly believe that VQ hate is mainly online, and it is very, very forced. I don't know why people force it, but I would say if you have not gotten behind the wheel and driven one yourself and you're only judging based off of exhaust notes you've heard, then, I mean, I think that you should hold your opinion. But I mean, like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion, so that's never going to be the case. So, verdict of the video, guys. Do VQs deserve the hate that they get? I believe not. These are great cars. They respond well to aftermarket support. You can easily push 360, 380 horsepower, maybe, all motor with full bolt-ons and a tune. And 400 horsepower is a good amount of power, guys. That's literally V8 numbers out of a V6. Obviously, that's stock V8, but still, it's no replacement for displacement. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your opinions in the comment if you disagree, if you agree. I want to hear everything you guys have to say. And yeah, until next time. Peace.